would a 10-year-old choose to carry a baby?
In the Ohio case, the Ohio Attorney General said that abortion would have been justified.
Focus on the question, please. Would a 10-year-old choose to carry a baby?
I cannot.
Do you think a 10-year-old should choose to carry a baby?
I believe it would probably impact her life, and so therefore it would fall under any exception and would not be an abortion.
What?
Wait. It would not be an abortion if a 10-year-old with her parents made the decision not to have a baby that was the result of a rape?
If a 10-year-old became pregnant as a result of rape and it was threatening her life, then that's not an abortion. So it would not fall under any abortion restriction in our nation.
Ms. Warbelow, are you familiar with disinformation?
Yes, I am.
Did you just hear some disinformation?
Yes, I heard some very significant disinformation.
Why don't you tell me about that?
Yes, an abortion is a procedure. It's a medical procedure that individuals undergo for a wide range of circumstances, including because they have been sexually assaulted, raped in the case of the 10-year-old. It doesn't matter whether or not there is a statutory exemption. It is still a medical procedure that is understood to be an abortion. Beyond that, I think it's also important to note that there is no exception for the life or the health of the mother in the Ohio law.
Right.
That's why that 10-year-old had to cross state lines in order to receive an abortion.
I mean, this is just so unbelievable. And when confronted with the 10-year-old needing an abortion, the pro-life people decided to say abortion isn't abortion. Because even in her warped mind, it was too far a bridge to ask a 10-year-old to cross. A 58, 60-pound person having a 9-month pregnancy in her head was too much to ask a 10-year-old to bear. And so she decided to say, well, that's not an abortion. Abortion is a medical procedure, and that is an abortion. And it is illegal now in Ohio after 6 weeks. And this 10-year-old didn't find out she was pregnant until 6 weeks and 3 days after she was raped. All right. And of course, the whole idea that this 10-year-old girl didn't exist. She didn't exist in Republicans' minds, in Fox News world, in, Catherine Glenn Foster's world. She just didn't exist until her rapist was arrested yesterday, and then she existed. And so what did the people who denied her existence, just like they deny that trans people exist, make her invisible, call her a liar, call her doctor into question, call the president of the United States a liar for asking you to try to put yourself in her parents' shoes, in her shoes. Imagine you were that 10-year-old girl, okay? Oh, he's lying. He's lying. Well, Jim Jordan also decided to call Biden a liar and tweeted it out. And then when he saw that an arrest had been made and that this was not a lie, and that it happens much more often than anybody would like to believe, he deleted his tweet. But some people had screenshots of it.
So yesterday, Ms. Warbelow, speaking of disinformation, Jim Jordan called a 10-year-old rape victim a liar. A 10-year-old rape victim was called a liar by the ranking member of this committee.
Oh, God.
And I know that he did that because he hates the president. Mm-hmm. It's clear every day from his statements and the statements from MAGA Republicans that they don't like Joe Biden, so they're going to call him a liar. That's fine. But what is worse is the reason that he did it is because he doesn't like what that rape victim represents, which is that this law from the Supreme Court, Dobbs, and the laws that will follow in states like Ohio and Texas and Georgia and other states will bring us government-mandated pregnancies for 10-year-olds, fourth graders, little girls. And to deflect from that, they choose to bully and beat up transgender individuals who represent fewer than 1% of Americans. And they try and deflect that because they don't want anyone in America to realize that they don't just want to wage a war on women. They're now expanding it to a war on little girls.
It's a war on anybody and everybody with whom they disagree or with whom they find peculiar or uncomfortable or not normal. And they decide. They're going to decide. So the 10-year-old who was called a liar, the 10-year-old that Joe Biden was speaking about, which forced Fox to say Joe Biden is a liar, the 10-year-old girl doesn't exist. Then they said the 10-year-old lied. Yeah, the 10-year-old girl lied to get an abortion and suggested that she was raped because she thought at 10 years old, a fourth grader, thought that she would get an abortion if she lied about being raped. Oh, my God. And they just won't stop. They're never going to stop. I swear to God, it's just the sickest thing I've ever seen, I've ever heard, I've ever experienced. Here's Fox News yesterday and today.
We do not have all of those answers at the moment, but right now it looks specious.
Well, it also
Specious.
was repeated by President Biden.
Correct.
And so that is another question here. So we'll continue to watch for this as well.
An update from a story we brought you last night. A man in Ohio has been charged with rape in the case of a 10-year-old girl who traveled to Indiana to terminate her pregnancy. Police arrested Garrison Fuentes Tuesday after he admitted to raping the child on 2 different occasions.
Okay, so yesterday it was specious. Biden was lying. The girl was lying. She didn't exist in some parts of Fox News world. She didn't exist at all in the House of Representatives. She didn't exist in the Senate, right? And then today, when they found out that there was an arrest made and that the guy had submitted DNA evidence and that he confessed to raping her twice, all of a sudden, they're good. They're good. Everything's good. We didn't make it up. We didn't call the president a liar. We didn't call her a liar. No. We just we just could not believe that a 10-year-old could get raped. Are you kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? You don't understand that we live in a world where incest goes on all the time, where young girls are trafficked or young girls are raped. I thought this was like your whole thing. I thought this was like the whole basis, the whole function of QAnon was to stop this pedophilia that goes on. I swear to God, it's always the ever-shifting thing with them. Always. It's never just believe your own eyes, believe your own ears, believe everything that, when people are arrested and arrest records are taken, or believe mass murder actually happened. No, it's a false flag, or they're crisis actors, or it didn't really happen that way, or they were tourists, or this was Antifa over here, or that over there. I mean, it never, ever ceases to amaze me the amount of positions that they invent that need to be added to the Kama Sutra, because you've never seen them, you've never heard of them, you've never experienced them, but they're new. These are just crazy wackadoodle positions that make Twister look stupid and like first grade, in order to explain away what clearly you saw, what clearly you know happens in the real world. It's unbelievable. Ruth in Tennessee.
Hello?
Hi.
Yeah, this is, like I said, I have a few things to say here, and you know what? I thought that this country was fair, but you know what? After watching the, little fiasco there, where they're trying to railroad Trump, and not only that, it's a kangaroo court, because isn't there supposed to be, in a trial, in a courtroom, there's supposed to be somebody there to take up for the person that's being railroaded, and this man's being railroaded. I'm a Democrat.
No, you're not.
No. Let me rephrase that. I was a Democrat, but after seeing some of these fake people, and I mean fake people,
Ruth,
people that I wouldn't trust.
Ruth, it's not a court.
Yard.
Ruth, it's not a court. It's a hearing.
What is it?
A hearing.
It's a hearing, but it's also one-sided. There ain't nobody in there.
There are
saying
2
anything
Republicans on the committee, number one, and number two, you do know that the Republicans are boycotting it. They didn't want to be there.
Good. I hope the hell
Well,
they win.
then how do you get cross-examination in a hearing if they're boycotting it?
I don't know, but
Okay. As long as you know what you don't know, I'm good with you. Freak. a Democrat. No, you're a MAGA. You're a maggot. Mr. Trump is being railroaded. Mr. Trump. So how did January 6th happen, Ruth? How did it happen? Who is lying? The president, the White House counsel, Cipollone, or Hirschman, or Rusty Bowers? Who's lying? Don't have time to listen to the live show? Want to hear more on your schedule? Go to RandiRhodes.com and buy a stinking podcast.